everyone. Welcome back to Learning 10. My name is Declan Doyle. This is another lesson for you, this time on the easiest and practical way to build habits into your life. So we're going to go over how all that should work. I know habits is a hot topic term at the moment, but often people don't have a framework of how to actually set them up in order to achieve success. So going to go into a little bit of research, nothing too heavy, but it's going to definitely help you build a better picture of how this should work in your own life. So let's jump into the content. Before we start, as usual, you can hit subscribe so you don't miss any of these. I only release once a week, usually on a Sunday. And if you've got any questions on what I'm going to cover, by all means, pop them in the comments as per usual. Okay, so why habits? Why should we even be concerned with habits in the first place? Well, when we look at research on it, about 40% of your behavior, so the stuff you do every day, so waking up, coming downstairs, driving the car, picking the kids up, all that kind of stuff, about 40% of your behavior that you practice during the day can be attributed to habits alone. So that means you're not really totally aware that you're just mindlessly wandering around to the tune of your habit 40% of the time. Now, that can go positive or it cannot. So there's lots of opportunity there, because if you were getting that 40%, for example, to get you mindlessly around in healthier ways, that's really helpful, right? So if that 40% was positively moving you into healthier behaviors every single day, you're making good eating decisions, you're making good rest decisions, good exercise decisions, and so on. That's great, right? Because it's kind of like a button on kind of auto that's pressed for you, that's making you act a certain way. However, this can go the opposite way as well. Now, they all work the same way. They're all triggered by some form of cue or prompt, right? So something's triggering you to act a certain way. Now, cues can be many things. So it can be the people you're with, the environment you're in, smells, signs, and so on. So that is a whole nother topic in itself. But you do act because you are triggered in some way from some form of cue. That gets you to respond or act, and you get some form of satisfaction for doing that. Now, that's how habits work. So now that you know how habits work, you can reverse engineer that process in order to get that habit loop cycle working for you. And the easiest and practical way to do that is actually leverage off your existing routines. So I use the stuff you already do to build new behaviors on top of each other. So do what you can with what you have where you are. So work with what you've got, right? So if you ever want to start a new habit, the best place to start is consider your existing routines now. Consider what are the things that you are mindlessly wandering around doing every single day. So what are they right now? So you can make a list of things. It might take you 20 minutes just to go over, okay, what do I kind of do every day without even thinking about it? And then off that list, you decide which of those existing routines offer the perfect context or segue to build your new existing or your new habits on top of. So there is a well-known practical technique that has been well backed up in the research to do this, called the implementation technique, right? And all this is that you write a clear intention of what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, off the back of your existing routine, right? So let me give you a few examples. So let me give you the habit formula here. After current routine, I will new habit at time in place, right? So let me tell you how powerful this is. There's lots of studies on this, but one of my favorite studies is when researchers wanted to see what the response would be if they use the implementation technique on a group when they were trying to get people to do more exercise over a 2-week period. Now, what they'd done, they took people on board. They split them into 3 groups. Group 1 was the control group. So all they told them to do was just track how much you exercise. Group 2 was the motivation group. So this is the group that was provided motivation to exercise. So think YouTube videos, tips and guidance, etc. And group 3 was taught how to use the implementation technique, i.e., told to write down what they were going to do, when they were going to do it, and in what place, right? And what they done after 2 weeks is they tracked what was the exercise rates across all 3 groups. Now, as you can see there, group 3, the intention group, they exercised twice as much as any other group, simply because they were writing down their intentions, writing down what they were going to do and when they were going to do it. And that is powerful because you can use your existing routines plus the implementation technique in order to build new behaviors. So, for example, after I boil a kettle, I'll drink a pint of water at 7 a.m. in the kitchen, right? This is just simple things you can do. After I get home from work, that's probably an existing routine that most people are doing. I will prepare my gym kit at 6 p.m. in the bedroom, ready for the morning session the next day. After I open my laptop, I will do 1 minute of slow breathing at 9 a.m. So you can see this applied. This is going to be applied anywhere to stress habits or nutritional habits or behavior habits. You can use the technique across all elements here. So it is very simple, and that is the easiest and practical way to think about how you can build new existing routines, because using your current existing routines as the leveraging point, you've already built a bridge to build new behavior on top of, right? So try it out, practice it, and trust me, it's a powerful technique that you can use. It does increase the likelihood of you following through with your new habits, which is what you want to do more of. So the key takeaways from this session, guys, obviously a big portion of your daily behavior is attributed to habit. So use that as the opportunity. Get those habits swinging in your way. Use leverage. So leverage off your existing routines. Consider what you're already doing and use those as the bridge to build new routines off the back of. And write down your statements of intent. Actually physically write down when you're going to do it and what time you're going to do it and in what place, okay? And your chances of following through will be increased. Hope you found that useful. I'll be back soon with another lesson. Have a good day. And again, ask any questions in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. Take care.